Hello everybody, my name is Masterstarman and welcome back for more Let's Play Pokémon Emerald. On a blast from the past episode, I am joined by...
You may know me as Mudkip, no, as NLP. I have a new channel now, AudaciouslyAwkward, just because I like having really long usernames that no one can remember. But it's good to be here. What are we doing today?
Sutopolis Gym.
This would be gym number 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the floor's all wet? They should get a mop. Or is that ice?
Ice, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I
Do
don't...
you have snowshoes?
Apparently, I don't get why... This puzzle's actually kind of annoying, because you need to cover every single tile before you step down. I'm purposely stepping down here because there's a ton of trainers in here.
I don't think I've ever seen a gym where it's just like a cluster of this many trainers.
It's really bizarre, and it's a kind of poorly designed gym, because it's supposed to be a water gym, but it has ice puzzles and snow everywhere, and it doesn't really have anything to do with water. And on top of that, like, the trainers are all completely optional.
So if you did the puzzle right, you wouldn't have to be fighting any of these guys?
No, not at all.
You're just grinding up so you get maybe a little level or two before the gym
Yeah,
leader?
basically.
That's smart.
Sharpedo, Pokemon that I've been told I was crazy for using on my team in this run, but it's been really useful so far.
Gotta have a shark. It was Shark Week like a week or two ago, so you had to have it.
Yeah. I actually, funny story, I was going to watch Sharknado 1 and 2 back to back when that was on Shark Week, but when I got like 20 minutes into Sharknado 2, and for some reason, I think it was because I was driving around a lot that day and with the radio on all day, and I got a headache after watching the first Sharknado, and I was just really tired, and I'm like, I can't stand to watch Sharknado 2 right now.
Okay, so I know probably some of your viewers are gonna like tease me for this, but I haven't seen either one, and I don't even know what they're about. I'm assuming it's a shark. Is it a shark and a tornado somehow?
It's... The first one, most people are probably gonna tease me for this. Most people I know have only seen like 5 minutes before stopping. I've seen Sharknado 1 twice.
What was it about it that allowed you to say, this was so bad the first time, let me watch it again?
It's like, you hear it on, people talk about it all the time, they're like, you know, this is one of those, like, it's such a terrible movie, people know it's such a terrible movie, and you just wonder, like, exactly how terrible it was, and then you watch it and you're like, my god, this is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
So are you one of those people when you know you're watching a bad movie, you kind of do the whole Mystery Science Theater thing and you just make fun of it the whole time?
Yeah, basically.
That's fun, like, especially if you have some friends with you, you can just be like, why are we watching this?
The first time I watched Sharknado, I was with a friend, and it was late at night anyway, we watched it, and he was like, kind of angry that I was watching it the whole time, because he was like thinking everything in the movie was stupid, which it was, but I got like such a kick out of it. And immediately after we finished that, we were on Netflix, and Netflix, whenever you finish like watching something, it sometimes recommends like something else for you to watch. The first movie it recommended us to watch was a movie called Rubber. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not. I can only imagine what that's about.
It is probably just as terrible, if not more. It's basically a tire that goes around killing people.
What? Okay, I wasn't going there at all.
Yeah, it's just a tire that goes around just murdering people.
And like a giant tractor trailer?
No, just like an ordinary car tire.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know how like a tire would kill somebody unless it's off a skyscraper or something.
No, the effect is literally so bad. It's like the tire just like stands there, it shakes a little bit, and then like a person's head will just explode. It's so stupid. It really is.
Who is like greenlighting these movies?
I have no idea, but apparently they're on Netflix.
Oh my gosh. That's my fear of watching a bad movie on Netflix because it's gonna screw up your recommendations for like weeks and weeks to come.
Oh yeah, true.
So wait, the Discovery Channel now they actually show that as part of Shark Week?
Sharknado 1 and 2, yes.
Whatever happened? Like when I was a kid, originally they used to just show like documentary footage or something, and
Yeah,
now they're showing movies.
there's documentary footage and whatnot too occasionally. Like they sometimes have some shark documentaries and whatnot, but I think it was just like the final thing they did in Shark Week this year was show
Even the
Sharknado 1 and 2.
Discovery Channel has like sold out.
Hmm.
I was actually bummed. I heard this year it's not even a full week anymore. Somebody was telling me it like starts on Sunday, now it ends on Thursday or Friday. Like that's not a week.
Wow. I think, well, it was a Saturday when I watched Sharknado, so I imagine, like...
Or maybe it was a week then.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody was just screwing with me. I was like, it has to be a week. That's the name.
Yeah.
You would think this is like one of their big game makers too.
Hmm.
And for those of you out there who don't care about sharks, I'm sorry to hijack this particular commentary and do like a 5-minute aside on Shark Week.
Better than what I was gonna talk about. I was gonna say, like, since this is an ice, like, puzzle in a gym, I was gonna say, like, I really don't understand the hate that a lot of people get for ice worlds and levels in video games.
For it is because I usually pick the grass starter, so ice gyms just destroy me.
Yeah, well, a grass starter would do really good in this gym. Usually,
Completely messed up. So grass is good against ice, or is it the other way around?
Ice is good against grass, but
Okay.
a lot of Pokemon are both types, so ice and water. And in that situation, grass would still be super effective.
I got it. It's these multi-type Pokemon that threw me off. It was hard enough for me to learn the first original types, like what beats what, and then they start adding, no, now this Pokemon is 2 types, and I'm like, oh my god.
It was worse in whenever X and Y came out and they added fairy types, which just kind of screwed with everything.
You basically have to have like a guidebook open next to your screen, I think now.
Yeah, the types that were good against fairy were there was actually only 2. There were steel and poison, which made Venusaur a really good Kanto starter that you could get early on in that game.
So with X and Y, you can kind of get whatever starter you want.
No, they give you the Kalos starters, but then early on you also get a Kanto starter as well. So you get one of the original 3.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, and during the first few months of the game being out, there was they gave away a free Torchic as well, holding a, I don't know why I'm saying free, but they gave away a Torchic holding a Mega Blaziken Stone.
Oh, man.
So you could have 3 starters on your team for the first time.
Yeah, so you could get grass, water, fire right there.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't use the Torchic because even though I like Blaziken, I didn't feel compelled to use one, especially not a Mega Blaziken. And it was a really overpowered Torchic too because it had a hidden ability called Speed Boost, which boosts its speed every single turn.
Geez, so you're basically always going first.
Basically, with that thing. In fact, that was actually the reason Blaziken was banned in Pokemon Black and White in the metagame.
I like how they've given you more options, because for some of the games, at least, if you didn't pick a certain starter, you were never going to find Pokemon of that type. It was like, you better pick the fire starter, because there's only like 2 or 3
That's
others
basically
in the game.
Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and if you don't have a fire type on your team, which you only have 2 options in that game, then one of the gym leaders can completely screw you.
Yeah, it was like, you could get, what was it, Ponyta? Or...
Yeah, Ponyta. That was the only other fire type.
I was like, oh man, I should have gone back and picked the fire type.
And I never went with that, because I always thought Piplup was always my favorite water starter in that.
Yeah, I like Piplup too, but Turtwig, man, when he got big and could do the earthquake, I was like, alright, I'm set.
Yeah, basically. Is there anybody else I have here that... yeah, I have an idea. Kind of a weird combination for a water-type gym, but... Let's just say I had a few ideas. Let me just check if that's not... Nope, not in my inventory anymore, which is good because that means I taught it, and you probably don't know what move I'm talking about yet.
I don't. I'm sure there's somebody out there who has more Pokemon knowledge than me who's like, oh, of course, I
Yeah.
know.
Well, no, I just taught a really good move on my Sharpedo, and I wasn't sure if you knew what it was yet or not.
I guess I'll have to wait until you unveil it.
Which is right now. So, Aerial Ace and Earthquake!
Wait, how can he learn Aerial Ace?
Ninjask can. Sharpedo learns...
Oh, Ninjask was the one who was doing Aerial Ace.
Yeah,
I was
Sharpedo
like,
knows Earthquake.
Okay, that
Still doesn't make a lot of sense, but it can still kick a lot of ass.
I guess like a shark charges the shore hard enough, he makes an earthquake.
Why are we getting back to shark topic again?
Let's not. For a second, I like looked at it wrong. I thought Sharpedo had Aerial Ace, and I was like, how exactly does that work?
I think Sharpedo can't. Well, thing about Aerial Ace is, it's actually a translation error. It was originally like, it's called something else in Japan. It's like something aerial cut. It's like something backwards cut or something, which is why there's a lot of Pokemon like, I think I didn't watch it, but I know you did Pokemon Black 2 a few years ago, and I think you used a crocodile in your Let's Play. I don't remember, to be honest, because I didn't really watch it, but Pokemon like Crocodile can learn Aerial Ace. Beartic, I think, can learn Aerial Ace, that big polar bear one.
Oh yeah.
That can learn that. There's a bunch of Pokemon that can learn it that, because of the translation error, most people don't expect that they can use them.
Yeah, because I always thought for the longest time it was just you had to be a flying type, or at least part flying, to learn something like that.
No.
That's how Pokemon get you. They like get you thinking one way, and then they're like, "No, you can do this."
It kind of screwed with me when they introduced Sky Battles into Pokemon X and Y, because after they introduced those, there were so many different Pokemon that were like available to be using in those, and then some that weren't. Like, for example, you could have Ghastly and Haunter could participate in Sky Battles, but Gengar couldn't.
How does that work?
I don't know. Apparently it's because, like, Ghastly and Haunter both don't have legs, even though Gengar still has Levitate and can still fly.
Yeah, it's like you evolve. Oh, nope, you can't do this anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And yet, Gyarados can participate in Sky Battles.
Well, once Gyarados evolves, they just pretty much let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Like, I don't care if he's, like, supposedly a flying type or not, and he can still participate in them even after he Mega Evolves, which he loses his flying type when he does that.
I can't even imagine. Like, I'm looking at some of the pictures of some of these new, like, Mega Evolutions that are coming out for the new remakes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Overkill City.
Some of them I don't really like. Like, they announced, Mega Salamence, and I looked at that, and I'm like, I don't really know if I like the crescent-shaped wings or anything like that. I really don't.
Yeah, that seems to be, like, a common thing that I'm hearing is people are like, why? Salamence was already good how it was.
It was, but I think it's still, like, I don't know. I think that, I do like the design of Mega Metagross, but it's gonna be way too overpowered.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Megas do have some deductions in some ways, like, Mega Abomasnow is slower, for example. Like, some of them, and Mega Garchomp's actually slower than normal Garchomp. But if, with something like Mega Metagross, they announced that they were buffing its speed a lot, and raising every other stat it has as well.
Oh, jeez. No, you gotta balance it out somewhere.
Yeah, and they're giving it an ability that raises the power of physical hitting moves.
So, I mean, like, jeez.
So, and considering its main attacks that it almost always run do direct contact, I can't imagine how that's gonna work at all.
Yeah, how are you supposed to defend against that?
Yeah. And I am not really looking forward to this gym leader because there's a very annoying Pokemon in it.
But you're prepared. I know you are.
A little bit.
No, don't say that. Say, yes, I got this.
Yes, I've got this!
One of us has to be the confident one here, because I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm counting on you to know what you're doing.
True. My original discussion